Hey everybody, welcome back to Champion Sons and our NCAA Football series where we will be getting Season 2 underway today. Well, Season 2 at Florida State underway today in this episode. But before we do get to the game where we will be facing off against Oklahoma State, we will have to get through the offseason first. Now, as I've said, Season 2 at Florida State, so you know nothing surprising in the coaching carousel or anything this time around. We are remaining with the Seminoles. We're going to try to build them back into national prominence before maybe we look at moving on to a different team to try to bring back up. We'll have to see how things work out with us. So right now, what we're looking at is we're just closing in on some of the final recruiting that we need to do coming up here in the off season. Now, we do have a total of 10,000 points. And generally, for the most part, all season, we've only been allowed to put 500 on these guys, so that's where I went with the maximum. Now, a lot of them, Chris Davis, Brad Richard, those guys, we had the lead, so, you don't feel too nervous about it, I guess you could say. But in the end, you whenever they sign, you never really can be guaranteed anything, right? It doesn't matter what kind of lead you have, you may or may not grab those guys. So here at this point, noticing that we had a 74 guard, 1,100 behind. So, yeah, I put in 1,200 points, hoping to try to grab him from Oklahoma State and, pretty much try to make a power move with a lot of these guys. Especially those that are in the mid-70s. That was a big thing to try and snatch them up because, they come in really pretty talented already. And two, by the time they get through their college career, where can we develop them at? How far can we truly take them? So you always want to look at bringing in a lot of depth as well. Our offensive line, I think we got a pretty good handle on, but you can never really have too many offensive linemen at that point. You know what I mean? So kind of see how that type of stuff goes. Now, looking at the rest of those, they're pretty low rated, so I'm not too concerned about adding in so many extra points to try to snatch them from somebody. Josh Wright at strong safety. He is 3-star, so we know he has developmental capabilities. And Spencer Gunn, really, once again, just for depth. So we're adding those points on really just for that depth of them to try to bring people in. Same thing with Derek Workman. I think we got a pretty good handle on it, just incredible. Not sure what he's going to do after this season. We will have to wait and see. And it kind of probably does depend on how well we do in this year, if he's going to remain or if he's going to leave, right? So you got to keep that stuff in mind going forward, which is why, I don't shy away from pulling in anybody just because I have my quarterback room set. It doesn't hurt to have any extra. And same thing with, 4-star athlete Davis and Brad Richard. We got a decent lead on these guys. I can't imagine Brad Richard. Next is Middle Tennessee. I mean, really? He's from Florida. I don't see how Middle Tennessee could truly be second on the list for him. So, some of those guys, it's one of those things that we do start dumping points in, like I said, to backfill a lot of spaces. Maybe redshirt some of them, bring them in, and all that type of stuff. But really just add depth to our roster is our main goal as we come down to this final set of scholarships. Now, we only have 9 remaining, right? We've used up most of them. We only have 9 remaining coming into signing day, so we will kind of have to see how that works out for us. As all the commitments you see there are just signing through. And we do get Alfred Hampton, but Chris Davis, they have him as a running back. He goes to Georgia Tech. Brad Richard commits to our team, 74 overall left tackle. Derek Workman does commit to us. And then some of these other guys we do end up losing to Florida and stuff like that as we go on. So we'll have to keep a watch on some of those things as we kind of get through here. Now to this recruiting for the next season, right? Normally I don't mind. I'll always recruit 5-stars, but like I said, we normally have to be in the top 3 or 4 of their selection pool before we will actually target them. And right now, we got a pretty good set we got first 3 5-star athletes, an athlete and 2 wide receivers that have us as first on their list. Coming down, so we definitely select them because we want to bring them in. I love bringing athletes into the program just because of their versatility, where all the different places you can put them. and stuff like that. So right now we're filling out primarily the 5 stars and the 4 stars to bring on as far as recruiting goes. We will come back through and start looking at some of those 3 stars as we go later on, especially, how recruiting goes, the flow, whether sometimes you could be playing great and teams still will not want you. Some guys will just change their mind, recruit to a different team that maybe isn't having as successful, or I guess what could be a more successful season. So it's kind of, you got to kind of be careful with that as far as filling up the board goes. So we've gotten most 5 stars and 4 stars selected here, and it is all over the board: defensive tackles, wide receivers, linebackers, defensive backs, athletes. And I think that's pretty much a good way to do it at this stage right now. Let's swing at the dart. Let's just start throwing darts at the board, see where we can get them to stick. And then at that point, we'll as we get through the season, we really start taking a focus on what we're going to need going forward. At that point, we will do a little bit more focused recruiting. So here we are, just going to go ahead and scout some of these guys early on. And if you look, Brian Cox, Terry Reed, Jabari Wilson, Tim Leonard, Phil Gatewood, Zach, all these guys are doing excellent as far as their improvement. Same thing, Sam Charles. Mid-70s, they all started going up for the most part. Once we got to Mark Fletcher, now you start seeing some of these guys dropping down. But it's not a big drop, right? It's not overall, it's not a big drop on some of these guys. A couple points here or there is not going to be a big deal, but we are finding multiple gems throughout this early recruiting cycle. Now the tough part, once we get through this cycle, is going to be keeping these guys on our team and interested in our team, and getting them to come to Tallahassee. That's going to be the little bit more difficult part, I have a feeling, but we'll see how it goes throughout the year. Now, to take a look at our season coming up, we open up against Oklahoma State in Jerry's World. Then we're supposed to have a bye week before we jump into ACC play against Duke, North Carolina, Wake Forest. And then we have a game against Maryland. And then comes Miami, NC State, Louisville. A lot of tough teams on the calendar for this season. It is going to be a kind of a gauntlet to run through. But I'll say I don't like having really Maryland on the roster, and I really hate having that second week be open. So I want to take a look at seeing what teams can I fit in here, and I think we can actually fit a primetime game in. And see about getting a big name school, and I really want. I don't want to do something like Alabama, at least not yet. I don't think we're ready for an Alabama, right? Cincinnati, we played them in a bowl game and put a pretty good beat down to them. But looking at the Big Ten, we had Maryland on our schedule. They were a Big Ten school, so kind of trying to keep with that. Michigan State, Ohio State. They are some pretty interesting schools. I'll tell you this, out of Michigan or Ohio State, I really don't care for either program, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Michigan. Right? So we look to schedule a home-and-home series with Michigan. This year we're playing at their home. Next season we're going to look to play them in Tallahassee. So we'll kind of have to see how that works out. And it keeps our strength of schedule at an A+. It adds a primetime game against a top 15 opponent. And if we can pull out the win, that'll help us out with recruiting quite a bit. And so I think we got serious potential there. Oklahoma State is one of those programs that is they're weird, right? So they're some years they're really good, but they just can't seem to finish off, the challenge like they did like last season, right? Last season made it to the Big 12 championship, beat Oklahoma, all that fun stuff, but couldn't seal the deal. They seem to be that team that just can't seal the deal. And so opening up against them, man, a part of me wants to have week 1 as open, then schedule a game probably against Michigan or some week 2, and then go down and then where Maryland was in week 6 to see if we could fit somebody in there. But it is kind of what it is. So I do toy around with our schedule a little bit. as far as where some of these games fit in. And so it's just keeping a watch on that, trying to figure out what's best for us going forward. So to see what teams are available in Week 6, I removed the game against Oklahoma State. As you can probably tell from the intro portion, that does not hold steady. You'll see kind of why here is there's not really a whole lot of big programs to go up against in Week 6. And so I decide at that point, okay, let's go ahead and bring back Oklahoma State. I did stop for a second and think about Texas, but decide against that in the end. So I did go ahead, let's add Oklahoma State back in, but we're going to make it the neutral site field at Jerry's World. Cowboys kickoff game. We will still be registered as the home team, so that's kind of where we're at this point. And then, like I said, the strength of schedule remains an A+. This is a difficult one. I think it's got potential to help us with recruiting, especially a game like in Week 2 against Michigan. And then Duke's kind of, they are what they are. Some years they'll try to shock you, but overall they're a basketball school that has a football team. That's really about it for them. Then North Carolina, Wake Forest, surprisingly at 21, but Miami coming in at 6, NC State, Louisville. That 3-game segment is going to be a gauntlet that's going to be rough to go through. So now that we have looked at our schedule, let's go ahead and jump into Week 1 here against Oklahoma State, as we are at the Cowboys kickoff on our opening drive of the season. Incredible rolls out to the right. He's going to find Justin Jones cutting across the field there and picks up about 8 yards, just around the 7-minute mark remaining in the first quarter. This is our opening drive of the game. So now 2nd and 2. Credible's going to come out in a shotgun formation. We got 4 receiver sets, 3 to the right. It's going to be an option. He keeps it and he gets forward before about 5 yards. Picks up a good 5 yards first down. Gives him 21 yards on the ground here to get this season started off with on this first drive. So now that we have a brand new set, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of the Cowboys, comes out in a shotgun formation. Credible sends a man in motion, has the snap, they bring a blitz, fires it over. He's got Wilson coming across the middle, and that's Johnny Wilson, not Ontario Wilson, as he did graduate from our program after last season. And Johnny Wilson picks up a good little chunk of yardage there for about 8 yards, as that's going to get us to a 2nd and 2. Now, Justin Credible is perfect on this drive so far. It has been chopping them down. This has been a drive where we are just trying to push them down the field and manhandle them and pretty much try to show them, there's a reason why we're the number 12 team in the country. So now on 2nd and 2, we come out in a pistol formation. Credible drops back, fires it deep down the left side. He's got Jones. He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Seminoles. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. What a throw from Credible to Jones. He had him on that wheel route, and Credible delivered a perfect pass. Led Jones right there to the back of the end zone, allowed him to make the catch and get his 2 feet down. And that's going to give us an early lead here at Jerry's World, as we now have a 7-0 to open up the season. And a little shocker in the SEC, Ole Miss taking out number 24 South Carolina in Week 1, 27-20. That's a pretty close game right there. The Ole Miss Rebels coming out heavy. And then some other games going on around the nation. Notre Dame really handled Virginia Tech 48-31. Colorado takes out Colorado State by just a point, 36-35. And those are the big games to look at that have been going on around the nation so far this week. And so now here comes out our defense for their first stint on the field, as Oklahoma State hands it off to the running back Richardson, and he's going to get hit, but he does pick up 4 yards. Still on that rush to the right side there. Dominic Richardson, he looks to be their prime point of attack for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, as he picks up that first 4 yards, first rush on the season for him. And so now they come out in a shotgun formation, 2nd and 6. Rangels got the snap, throws it over to the left side, and we jump that one. Jarian Jones almost intercepts it, but he does knock it down. That would have been an easy pick 6 if he could have held on to it. However, he's unable to, and so now it's 3rd and 6. So they're going to come out in a shotgun formation once again. They got multiple receivers set. Snap drops. He throws a screen pass to Richardson. He's got some space, and Richardson is brought down. Wow, what a tackle right there by our defense to stand him up and hold him to a 3 and out. And that's going to give our offense a chance with good field position on their next drive. Incredible. Drops back. Throws it out to the right side. He's got Ja'Kai Douglas, who's going to get brought down after an 18-yard reception on that one. Douglas came through with some big catches for us last season, and it looks like he's starting to do it again. Ran a beautifully crisp route right there to make sure he got open and still managed to bring the ball down as well. So 1st and 10 at the Cowboy 37-yard line. We're going to come out in the shotgun. We got 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Trayshawn Ward in the backfield. Wide receiver screen. Wilson pushing forward. Looks like he should have been stopped for no gain on that. But we were able to bring him down. They were able to bring him down after a gain of 4 yards. So Credible still perfect on the evening. 8 for 8 so far. Now 2nd and 6. Credible with an option. He's going to keep it. He's got blockers up the middle. Just incredible at the 5. Touchdown Seminoles. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. 33 yards to the house on the option keeper. Just incredible with a just incredible run right there to double up our lead here against Oklahoma State. And that's going to make it with this extra point 14-0 here to get this season kicked off. Still in the first quarter with 1:43 seconds remaining. And so now after a quick stop by our defense, we're going to take over once again around the midfield mark with 26 seconds still remaining in the first quarter. Credible drops back, throws that one, and he's going to get intercepted. Jones stepped in front of it. Kind of had the position right there, and Wilson is going to bring Jones down, but it looked like a pretty obvious face mask penalty. And so not only do we turn the ball over, but we give them 15 additional yards on top of that. I can't be too mad about Wilson. Bringing him. He's not used to tackling. You'd like for him to be smarter, but hey, at least he brought the guy down. So the Cowboys now with a little bit of new life in them. 1st and 10. 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. Hands it off to Richardson. Big hole. He cuts up the middle. Richardson still going, and he's going to be brought down, and there's another flag. And Richardson is signaling for a face mask, and that's what the ref is giving him. So why not give him 30 yards on this opening drive? What the hell? We put up 14 points on them. I guess it'd be nice of us to give them 30 yards after a turnover. And that's going to put us in a pretty tough spot here as Oklahoma State is now at the Seminole 12-yard line as the clock is ticking down for the end of this first quarter. Not sure if they'll get the snap off in time. As they do get the snap off, handoff to the left side. And he gets right past Johnson as Richardson picks up 6 yards. Probably should have been stopped right around the line of scrimmage, but unable to get that stop on him. And so they are posted up right outside the end zone here as we have a 14-0 lead for now at the end of the first quarter after some big plays by our offense. So 2nd and 4 at the 6. This is not a goal-to-go situation. They can still get a first down without a touchdown. Rain Hill comes out in a pistol formation. He drops it back, hands it off to Richardson to the right side, who cuts it up, and Richardson is brought down after a gain of 4 yards, and they're going to give him a first down now. So now they have a 1st and goal from the 1. Here to start out the second quarter of this ball game, we still lead 14-0 here in Dallas. So they're going to come out with a 1st and goal and a shotgun pistol formation as Rain Hill has the snap. Option keeper, and he keeps it himself, and he's going to be brought down hard behind the line for a 3-yard loss. Dennis Briggs picking up where he left off last season, and he's going to put Rain Hill to the turf on that one violently. So 2nd and goal now from the 5-yard line. As we pushed them back, we just need to do it again. As they come out now, spreading it out a little bit. Pistol formation, 2 tight ends to the left side. As they hand that one off to Richardson up the middle, and he's going to be stopped after a gain of 2 yards. Gainer does bring him down. Ran right at him, stood up Richardson. Good collision right there at the 3. And it kind of goes neutral as they go down right there. So it's going to be 3rd and goal. Rain Hill comes out in a pistol formation once again. 4 receivers set. And he's going to hand it off to Richardson up the middle, and Rain Hill drives the Cowboys down, gives it to Dominic Richardson for the touchdown, and they're going to cut our lead in half now. We were leading 14-0, and looks like once they get this extra point through, it is going to be 14-7 here in Dallas. So the second quarter just started. We had some problems like that last season with giving up some leads, so we need to be careful and put our foot down on the gas pedal when we can. Now a little later in the second quarter, we have scored an additional touchdown. The game is at 21-7 here, and we are on the move once again. Now Credible drops back, and Cowboys bring the pressure, and he's going to be brought down for a sack and a loss of 7 yards. That's going to make it 2nd and 17. Trying to extend on this 14-point lead once again. Find ourselves kind of deep in a hole here at the Cowboy about 37-yard line. Credible's going to come out in the shotgun. 4 wide set. Ward in the backfield. Credible drops back, fires it over. He's got Ja'Kai Douglas up the middle. We needed 17, and Douglas is going to get 18. That's going to be 1st and 10 Seminoles. As we have, that was a push forward by Ja'Kai Douglas. He made that catch, and then it was just pure physical run right after that to pick up the first down and get us into the red zone here just outside, right around the 18-yard line. Now Credible in the shotgun, 4 wide once again. It's an option keeper up the middle, and he's going to score again on the ground. Just incredible with the touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. 2 touchdowns on the ground for Credible here in this opening season game. And with this extra point, that's going to give us a 3-touchdown lead and make it 28-7. As this first half is still going, but starting to come to a close at just about 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. And now we're going to advance a little bit later on into the third quarter. The Cowboys have added a touchdown on, so the score is 28-10. As the quarter is about 2.5 minutes remaining. Credible drops back and is going to get hit just as he tries to throw it. He's 14-17 on the day with about 158 yards, it looked like. So pretty slower kind of day, but a successful day, mainly because the option game is kind of carrying us here. And after that incomplete, it's 2nd and 10. Credible drops back. They bring pressure. He's going to find Rector on the right side there in the flat, and he gets blasted after gaining 9 yards. Wyatt Rector, his second catch of the season, well, of the day and the season. Incredible actually has over 200 yards now with that 9-yard pass. But what a hit Rector took. I'm surprised he's able to hold on. Shit, I'm surprised he's up and walking now. He had his head knocked off right there, but hey, tough kid. Gotta give the dude some credit. Now here we are, 3rd and 1. We are 6 for 6 on 3rd down conversions in this game. We're 3 feet away. Hand it off to Ward up the middle, and they're not going to give it to us. That's going to make it 4th and inches. You've got to be kidding me. Trayshawn Ward, a little slow start to the season for him. He's got 13 carries and 43 yards, and that's going to lead us to a field goal as we try to make this a 21-point ball game once again. Fitzgerald puts the boot to it. It's up, and it is going to be through. So 31-10 here as we approach the end of the third quarter. That's how you want to get your season started off, is keep getting a lead and keeping the lead. Now as we come to in the start of the fourth quarter, Oklahoma State is on the move. They are at the Seminole 18-yard line as Rain Hill drops back, fires it on the screen pass, and that's going to be knocked up and brought down. And so that was a 2nd and 11, but that pass falls incomplete. Rain Hill only 108 yards on the evening so far. And now, actually, that was a 3rd and 11. They're going to go for it on 4th down, 4th and 11 here. Instead of going for points, they're going for the first down, as they're going to come out in the shotgun formation. Rain Hill has the snap. Briggs brings pressure, but he gets it away from Bray. Bray's going to be tackled and brought down. Jaden Bray picked up 10 of the 11 yards that they needed, and that's not going to be enough for them. And so they will turn the ball over on downs right there. And that's going to leave us with a long field to go, but an opportunity to put this game away and shut it down. So we hand that one off to Ward to the left side. He's going to pick up a good 6-yard. Trayshawn Ward starting to pick up some yardage there, as he now has 49 yards on the evening. And starting to open up some holes. We have struggled with that a little bit. So we'll have to kind of see maybe what do we need to do to change our running game here coming up. But then again, Oklahoma State's not the toughest team in the world, you know what I mean? So 2nd and 4, handed off to Ward to the left side. Once again, breaking tackles. Trayshawn Ward picks up 8 yards on that carry, as that's just going to start adding to his total. See if we can't get him some more yards and get him closer to the century mark. We got a long ways to go, so we do need to keep it up, mixing up our offense here, run and pass. But hey, go with what works, right? From the pistol formation, Credible hands that one to Ward pretty much up the middle, but he kind of slide steps over to the left side, and he's going to pick up 5 yards right there going off the left guard on that handoff. And that's going to make it 2nd and 5 now from the 28-yard line. So here we come out in the shotgun. We got 3 receivers set, all to the left side. Ward offset to the right. Pass drops back. He throws a screen pass. Ward lowers his shoulder, and he's going to pick up just enough for the first down. Trayshawn Ward he's got 16 yards on 4 receptions so far this evening. That one giving us just enough to the 33-yard line. So now 1st and 10, we're going to come out in the shotgun formation, full wide. Credible Ward's offset to the left side. Send a man in motion, play action, drop that one off to right, and they did not fall for it at all. Winston Wright does get brought down behind the line for a 2-yard loss on that play right there. You got to give their defense credit for reading that one. I'm not fooled by the play action one bit. So now 2nd and 12. Here we come out in the shotgun. Hand it off to Ward to the right side, breaking a tackle as he cuts it up the middle, and he's brought down for a gain of 6 yards now, as he's almost at 70 yards on the evening. A lot of them coming off just this drive, almost 20 of them coming off just this drive alone. So 3rd and 6. Credible comes out in a shotgun, 4 wide. We got 3 to the right, Douglas wide left. Credible has the snap, scans over the middle, fires it over. He's going to have Justin Jones over the middle, makes a man miss, and brought down at about the 31-yard line. Justin Jones picks up 33 yards on that catch and run. And that's a big-time play that we needed to keep this drive alive, and that's going to put us in a lot better scoring position as we're now at the Cowboy 31-yard line. So we've already been going 7 plays for 57 yards so far. Just need to keep it up. Now on 1st and 10, the option. Credible off to the right side. He's got nobody in front of him. Just one tackler, and he misses. Just incredible. 3 touchdowns on the afternoon. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You have got to be kidding me. What a performance on the ground from Credible. No one saw this type of thing coming from him. And that's going to open this game up even more, make it a 4-score game, and you're looking at the type of score and the type of game that we can just shut down now as we put that game away with that run by Credible. And that would actually do it right there. That would seal the deal for us, lock in the win. Our defense steps up. We also put the backups in after that. So we will win the opening game of the season. That was a big one for us. Credible with 133 yards on the ground, 243 through the air, and all the touchdowns that he had, 2 through the air, 3 on the ground. Everything done by that young man was incredible today. So 38-10 is the final score here at Jerry's World. A good way to start this season, showing why we're number 12 in the country and actually probably why we deserve to be a little bit better ranked. Putting a beat down on Oklahoma State like that in a nationwide game at the Cowboys kickoff game. So good way to get things started. I'm excited to see what this season has in store for us. I would remind y'all to hit the subscribe button if y'all have not hit it already. And if you do like today's video and you love college football, you're excited for bowl season coming up, give us a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel, and I truly greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us here at Champ & Sons Gaming and all the support that y'all have shown us over the last few months. It's been great. It's been crazy, and I can't thank y'all enough for all of that that y'all have done. So week 1 is in the books. Week 2, we are traveling to Ann Arbor, Michigan to take on the Wolverines. That should be a pretty hefty battle. So definitely stay tuned for that. Hit that little bell notification icon so you can be notified of all Champ & Sons content for week 2 against Michigan, our basketball, our racing, our Madden series, everything that we got going on in the channel. Stay tuned for all of that stuff. But I will see y'all in that next episode, everybody. So as always, stay safe. And, well, y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.